What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to balance both calisthenics and martial arts. You guys know I train both of these styles, and balancing them can be fairly difficult, no lie. Training calisthenics correlates well with martial arts and vice versa. They both work hand in hand. But when it comes to achieving, let's say, certain goals, like maybe you want to accomplish a 540 roundhouse kick, or maybe you want to work on planche, it can be a little difficult to accomplish both of these in a reasonable time frame. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys tips and some don'ts to help you balance both calisthenics and martial arts. First things first, guys, me training both of these styles, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably put martial arts more on the back burner, all because I'm trying to achieve the full planche. Calisthenics is really just my second passion, and martial arts is my first. I prefer to train martial arts over calisthenics any day of the week, but I really would like to master calisthenics. When it comes to balancing these two, I put my martial arts more on the back burner because I want to accomplish the full planche. Does that mean I don't train my martial arts at all? No, I probably put in, like, if I had to guess, guys, maybe like an hour, maximum 3 hours out of the month, which isn't a lot of time. Hence why sometimes I feel like I'm just not as skilled in martial arts as I used to be, because I put a lot more time in martial arts before. But since I'm on this new journey with calisthenics, I gotta make sure I knock this out first. So my first recommendation when balancing both calisthenics and martial arts, guys, is understand your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? If you're trying to accomplish more of the complex skills in calisthenics, focus more on calisthenics. Put martial arts on a back burner just for the time being so you can really dial in and master the skill you're trying to learn in calisthenics. That's my biggest recommendation. Whatever goal you align with most, attack that first. Then go into the second, the third, etc. So when it comes to balancing these two different styles, make sure you find out what is your ultimate goal, and if it aligns more with calisthenics, go that route. If it aligns more with martial arts, go that route. You can still train both of them, but I highly recommend, again, just to put one on the back burner for right now, and then once you accomplish that first goal, go on to the others. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how do you balance both calisthenics and martial arts? Let's say, for instance, you don't mind training both of these styles at the same time. You don't really have a big goal you're trying to accomplish. You're just here to get better and better over time. You don't really have a time frame on whatever you're trying to do. This is the approach that I kind of take. Even though calisthenics is my top priority right now, I still involve some type of martial arts training. So for instance, if I'm training planche on a particular day, I might give myself 3 to 5 minutes of rest time. In between that rest time, I'm probably stretching, I'm doing some mobility exercises, I might do some side kick holds, round kicks, might even do some spinning hook kicks, because these exercises, or more specifically these drills, are pretty much low maintenance. You're not using a whole lot of energy when it comes to working on your balance, kicks. Depending on the kicks, yes, but basic roundhouse, side, spinning hook kicks, you're not expending a whole lot of energy. And so that works for me. If I'm resting 3 to 5 minutes, I can do more of those low maintenance drills just to keep my martial arts skills really sharp. So it's really not that difficult to balance both calisthenics and martial arts training. Just make sure you're not expending a whole lot of energy when training those basic skills with your rest time. So taking a more active rest approach. And vice versa, if you're working more on intense martial art kicks, combinations, whatever it may be, those rest times, you might do some push-ups, dips, pull-ups, but just keep in mind, those martial arts skills where you're working on those really intense kicks, combinations, may require a good degree of focus. So you have to make sure, guys, you train accordingly. Don't overextend yourself, because if you start doing too much, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get mentally fatigued. And when that mental fatigue really starts to set in, for instance, if you're working on something like a 540 hook kick, at times when I was mentally fatigued, my spin got slower, I really started to feel fatigued, and I didn't have the same jumping ability. The focus just wasn't there. So you gotta make sure you guys save enough energy. So maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week, you focus strictly on martial arts. You don't really do no calisthenic basic skills in between your rest time. And then on the lighter days, like say for instance on a Friday, it's a light day for you. You might work on those intense kicks, but you're not going crazy hard every time. You're just trying to get more of the technical aspect down, and you might throw in some push-ups, pull-ups, dips, squats. You can balance both of these styles of play, but you just have to make sure you're being smart with it. So to recap, guys, if you're training both martial arts and calisthenics, work on the more intensive stuff that you want to accomplish. And then in between your rest time, you're working on more basic exercises or drills. That way you can really save your energy, and you're still gonna sharpen up your skills on whatever style you decide to train during active rest, but you just might get there a little bit slower. And again, this is really for the people who don't really care about a time frame. They're just there to enjoy the journey. Another tip I wanna provide you guys is that later on in the week, I like to mix up my training. So early in the week, I'm going hard with my calisthenics. But later on in that week, let's say a Thursday or maybe a Friday, Saturday, I'm gonna reduce the intensity and volume of my calisthenics training because again, I align first with more of my calisthenics stuff and then my martial arts training is second. But I might really just do a 50-50 thing because now I wanna give my body some rest when it comes to training calisthenics. So I might implement more martial arts exercises or drills. And that's where programming really comes in handy. Know how to program for yourself, listening to your body. Combining these two styles of play can be very, very taxing on your body, especially mentally, but you have to know how to program, and that's where I knew how to program for myself to still make progress. So sometimes I might even do like 2 Sundays out of the week where I'm just throwing crazy amount of kicks because I slowed down my training with calisthenics on Friday and Saturday. So Sunday might be a day where I'm working on improving my kicks, different drills to improve my balance, stability, but I also ensure I don't do too much because Monday, I'm right back to calisthenics. It's all about just listening to your body. The less is more approach is always more valuable. You might not think you're doing enough, but remember guys, it's all about just investing time. Think about it as money. You're putting money in the bank, and over time, you're gonna start to reap those benefits. The same thing applies for your training. You might not think doing 3 sets of 30 seconds on a side kick hold is doing much for you because you might be at a high level, but you're gonna improve your skill set over time. And that's where it kind of shocked me. I wasn't spending a whole lot of time training my martial arts, but I will put in, like I said, 1 to 3 hours out of the month. And it would be very methodical. I'm talking maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, which may not seem like a lot, but it pays dividends over time. And most of the time, I'm really in shock. Despite the fact I don't put in a lot of time with my martial arts training, I'm still able to perform at a relatively high level. So that shows you 2 things, that my training was very effective early on when I was putting in a lot of time, but also the little details I'm putting in right now. May not seem like a lot, but it adds value over time. And that's where it was really difficult for me to really understand because I was so consumed by the fact that if I'm not putting in 3 to 4 hours a week at the very least with my martial arts training, then I'm gonna slow down. And that's not the case. Once you get out of your head that you need to train this amount of hours a week and you just go with the flow, still have a plan, but don't be overly consumed by the fact that you're not putting in hours when you're comparing it to other people. Get that out of your head, go at your own pace, and realize that you're gonna accomplish whatever goal you set for yourself over time. What really sets people apart from others when it comes to accomplishing their goals is that they give up. You can't give up. No matter if it takes you 2,000 hours, 3,000 hours, fall in love with the process and trust it. You're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have great days, but don't be attached to neither or. Just be present in the moment and get better and better. So take the less is more approach. Maybe early on in the week, you're focusing more on calisthenics or martial arts, whatever your goal is. And then later on in the week, you're balancing your training 50-50. And these are one of the methods I use when it comes to training both calisthenics and martial arts. The same approach I just gave you guys is the same thing I apply to my weekly, daily, whatever you want to call it. This is the same approach that I take when it comes to my training. So it's great to work both of these styles and combine the 2. If you guys need any help with programming or just improving your skill set when it comes to calisthenics or martial arts, shoot me an email. This is what I do. I'm here for you guys. But other than that, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. I'll see you guys next video. Peace and love as always. And Ashe. Boom. We out, baby.